And welcome back to the drawing board. Once again, I'm Mark Saxon. Thank you for joining me for yet another week. Let's talk some sports. Let's talk some shit. Friday night tears and Friday night beers. Got the aluminum for you tonight. Hmm. Let's jump right into it. The World Series. I don't think anybody could have predicted such a dominant victory from the Blue Jays. I mean, I think this one's going to be close. As much as I hate the Dodgers, obviously, everybody's aiming to beat them. So that means that speaks for itself, right? Um, Snell having a good game up until the sixth. They caught up to him. Shohei not really doing too much. A 2-run shot in the sixth or the seventh, losing 11-4. Now here's the thing: Shohei's done it all playoffs where he doesn't show up till the end. Snell, for the most part, has been lights out. Bad night. It is what it is. Do I think this is over? Absolutely not. Do I hope that the Blue Jays win? Absolutely. I'm in a crossroads though, folks, because I think it's funnier in hell that the Canadians haven't won a Stanley Cup in over 30 years. I don't know how I feel about them winning a World Series. That being said, obviously I'm rooting for the Jays over the Dodgers. Um, my prediction is it's going 7-4-3 Jays. I think it's going to be extremely interesting how this plays out. The Jays having the better record by one game, so they got the home field advantage. Obviously, I think they're going to be go to Game 7 and they're going to do it. So obviously, like I said tonight, not showing much of anything. Both Mookie and Shohei going 1 for 4. Mookie getting one hit didn't really matter. Shohei getting obviously the home run and two ribbies. The Blue Jays pitching did a really good job shutting pretty much everybody down. Teoscar Hernandez with a hit and a walk. Um, Will Smith 1 for 3, got a ribby. So I mean, a lot of shutdown on the defensive side. But then they open it up, like I said, in the sixth inning. They found a little chink in Snell's armor, so they got to him. So I think we're going to see more of that offense from the Blue Jays, but be prepared for the Dodgers to strike back. Once again, I do not see the Dodgers being down and out. I do not see them being swept. If they do, I'll be shocked. I'll be happy, but I'll be shocked. But I'm thinking seven. I'm thinking seven. Let's move it along to the MLS. I'm a huge fan. Tonight, Miami taking game one over Nashville, 3-1 with Messi scoring three goals. No, sorry, two goals. 19th minute and then the 90th minute in stoppage time. Um, getting the third goal. So game one very much in their pocket, and it's going to be an exciting playoff. I think this is fun for me because I'm a San Diego FC fan. This is their inaugural season, and they are uh, the top of the West. So I think this is going to be exciting. So let's kind of jump into it. Where obviously you have the Miami, beating. Let me pull it up here just so I can look at it. You have Miami beating Nashville. Cincy on the 27th playing the Columbus Crew. Philly playing Chicago. And another big one, Vancouver and Dallas. LAFC and playing Austin, Minnesota and Seattle, and then San Diego and Portland. Portland winning the play-in over Real Salt Lake, so that'll be fun. San Diego beating the brakes off of Portland, but I think Portland woke up. I don't think this is going to be a breeze and a walk in the park. Philly's the favorite, and what I hate about that is Mr. Escondido, where I'm from, got signed by Philly when he was scoring goals left and right in San Diego. So I think it would be super fun and super dramatic and romantic all at the same time for San Diego and Philly to play it off for the MLS Cup. But you got Messi and company. Obviously, Vancouver. Dallas being a pesky team. And LAFC with Son's coming in, changing the entire club. So you got a few teams on fire. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what unfolds. This is all going to be, in my opinion, the best playoffs that MLS has ever had. That being said, let's move it along to another exciting sport. UFC 321 taking place tomorrow. It's in Abu Dhabi, so I mean, hey, if you like watching fights in the middle of the day, this one's for you. There's a few good fights. Alexander Volkov and Almeida. Almeida's coming in. Almeida's no punk by any means. He's coming in at 34 years old, while Volkov is 36. Volkov getting the reach. In the last five, Almeida is 4-1, only losing to Curtis Razor Blades, which is an absolute boss. Volkov 38-11. Sorry, Almeida 22-3. Volkov 38-11 in his last five, only losing to Cyril Gahn, which, in my opinion, he should have won that fight. He bullied Gahn all night long. Even Dana said that this was fucked up. I don't know what those judges were thinking. It was crazy to me. So this is going to be an exciting fight. I think Volkov's going to come flying off the handle, especially after that last loss, even though it shouldn't have been a loss. Like I said, he bullied Gahn. I don't know what was going on with Gahn, but he was not having it that night. But like I said, Almeida is no punk. Nurmagomedov and Bautista. Nurmagomedov being 18-1, Bautista 16-2. Bautista is 32, Nurmagomedov 29, and they both have 69 inches on the reach. In the last five, Bautista is 5-0, with his last fight being June 7th, beating none other than Patchy Mix. And Patchy Mix, I mean, hey, he had his chance at Magomedov for the belt back in 24. And he's no punk by any means, right? He held the belt back in 23, beating Pettis. I think this is gonna be an interesting fight, because in the last five for Nurmagomedov, he only lost to Balashvili January 18th in 2025. So this is going to be interesting. I don't know who to give this to, folks. Honestly, my gut, my knee jerk reaction is Nurmagomedov. Like I said, Bautista's no punk, so that's going to be an extremely fun one to watch. And then Verna Janderoba fighting Mackenzie Dern. I'm a Mackenzie Dern fan. I think this one's going to go to the cards. I think if Mackenzie sticks to her jiu-jitsu and remains aggressive, not letting her get beat on the feet, she's gotta move it to the ground. She's got to be able to control. I think she's got this one in the bag. I don't see a submission. I don't see a knockout. I see this one going to the cards. Finally, Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gahn. Now, here's my problem. Cyril Gahn shouldn't have won against Volkov. Like I said, I really hate that they gave him the chance. Now, I'm never going to question Dana. I really like Dana's rankings. I really like how Dana does business. I really like how Dana respects fights won and fights lost, right? Obviously, in the ranking system. So I get why they picked Cyril Gahn for the Tom Aspinall challenge. I completely, as I'm like Dana White. Johnny Bones Jones, pound for pound, greatest UFC fighter ever. You can argue that all day long if you want, but that's my guy. That's who I'm picking every time. But I blame him for not taking the fight. Now, I do believe they should have given him that other 6 months. I do believe that Tom Aspinall and Johnny Bones Jones should be fighting in December like he wanted. Nonetheless, this is what we got. I think Cyril Gahn is going to get fucking bullied. I think Tom Aspinall is going to get that ass, and I don't think it's going to be close, folks. Real quick, dream fight, other than Johnny Bones Jones, I really wish they would have given Derek Lewis the chance. Derek Lewis just being a boss. Everybody thought he fell out. I think this would have been a fun one with Tom Aspinall, because, I mean, both of them get violent. Tom Aspinall loves fighting on the ground. Derek Lewis, we've seen time and time again, just stand up when he gets tired of being wrestled on the ground, stand up and just slams people. I think that would have been way more fun than Cyril Gahn. Now here's the thing: Cyril Gahn's not a punk. All right, I'm just throwing that out there. He's not a punk. I just don't like the last couple of fights that he came out. Didn't look good. Like I said, especially against Volkov, he got punked, he got bullied, he got manhandled. Still ended up with a win, and I don't know how. Um, Nonetheless, here we are. I'm giving it to Tom Aspinall. I think Tom will get the submission, and I think it's going to be quick. I'm going to say the second round. I think it's going to be quick. So that's my take on that. Let's go to the NCAA football Saturday. First and foremost, the one coming out right out of the gate, Oklahoma and Ole Miss. That one's going to be fun to watch. Little SEC football. Ole Miss has been on fire. Ole Miss has been on fire now. I'm an LSU fan. I could really care less. Hope they tie, but obviously that's not a thing. So I'm pulling for Oklahoma on this one. I'm going to stay away from it on my bets because Ole Miss, like I said, has been on fire. Another good SEC game is Alabama and South Carolina. I think that's just going to be fun. I think Bama's going to take it. Vandy, who's having a hell of a season out of nowhere, ranked number 10, going to play Mizzo, number 15. Mizzo had their shot at Bama through that interception. It is what it is. Another good one that I think is going to be on the board is obviously LSU and Texas A&M. Now, here's the thing. Huge LSU fan, obviously. Talked about him every week. My 10-year-old son, is a Texas A&M fan. So I'm staying away from that bet because Texas A&M is looking good and LSU's been playing for shit. And frankly, I don't want to get bullied by a 10-year-old for the next year. So LSU Tigers, you better show out tomorrow, man. Come on. And another fun one, I think it always is going to be fun, is Michigan and Michigan State. The rivalry is real. The hatred is real. So I think that's going to be another fun one to watch. I think that pretty much does it. There's going to be a couple other decent ones, but not quite as good as the ones that I feel were worth watching. Going to be a great Saturday. Let's move it along to the NFL. Well, this is going to be an interesting week for multiple reasons, but the Bengals and their new look with Joe Flacco taking on the Jets. I think this is going to be fun. The Giants and the Eagles. The Giants, all of a sudden, like I said, revitalized a new team. I mean, it's the same team, but they had two different, changes of ball possession, right? Where going with Jackson Dart, Scat getting a little bit more of a look. They're both looking good. I think the Eagles are going to win it, but revitalized team. Like I said, Bucks and Saints, just because Baker came out and said he hates the Saints, I think that's just going to make it fun, right? The next one that I think is going to be decent, obviously, because I'm a Packers fan. First time the Packers and Aaron Rodgers are meeting since he left. It is in Pittsburgh, so that might make it easier on Rodgers. I'm going to take the Packers, obviously, because I'm a Packers fan. But I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of emotion. I think tempers might flare. Not in the fact where they're going to fight, but it's going to be an intense game where obviously Aaron Rodgers is going to want to win that one just to prove, to his team now and then prove that he still got it. Jordan Love facing his old teacher. A lot of things to prove here this week. So I think that's just going to be a fun one to watch. Those are the ones I think we should keep an eye out on. Let's move it to our Fuck It Friday bets where I mixed it all up this week. Well, not really. Just between college football and UFC. I'm taking Bama over South Carolina to minus 440. Vandy over Mizzo at a minus 148. Tom Aspinall at a minus 375. And then San Diego State, just because they've been looking good in that conference, over Fresno at a minus 162. Now, I know this isn't anything crazy. Forgive me, folks. I'm still hesitant on a lot of bets. So I'll probably come out with something more. But $5 gets you $21.06. As the weekend progresses and I drink a little bit more, we might get a little bit more crazy with the bets there. We might have a little bit more fun. But, like I said, I'm hesitant on a lot of it. We have to take a minute and drink on it and think on it, if you will. Once again, I'm Mark Saxton. This is Back to the Drawing Board. Thank you for joining me for yet another week. And let's have some beers and enjoy the weekend sports. Folks, all sports are back. Enjoy it. Have a fucking weekend.